I get it. You are tired of the old rules of work. You want more than just a paycheck. You want a career that feels authentic and a life that feels more balanced. I also detect a growing anxiety. You have heard about quiet quitting, and a part of you knows it is a dead end. Disengagement and passive resistance is not a path to influence, it is a path to being ignored. The workplace is not offering what you expected, and I want you to fight back. In this video, I'll share what I have learned as a strategic rebel, someone who learns to win at the game of work so they can change the rules from the inside out. Call to rebellion. You feel it every day, the contradiction of the modern corporation. They promise collaboration and innovation, but what you get is a rigid hierarchy where your voice and influence is tied to your title. I felt the same frustration. It makes you want to rebel, and you should. But the path of quiet quitting is not the heroic one. Your true potential lies in a different kind of rebellion, one that requires a strategy and a long game. The question is, what if you want to create change where you are right now? Here is my advice. Join companies that are already in the process of transforming. For example, in my last corporate leadership role, I was at Google, a company that promotes a bottoms-up culture where individual initiatives are valued and leaders are not supposed to be the know-it-all bosses. I strive to be more googly than Google itself, consistently pushing the system to be less hierarchical and less authoritarian. Remember this, you can't reform a system you don't understand, and you can't be heard if you're whispering in the corner. Join the rebellion by taking the seemingly contradictory first step we will examine in the next section. Training in the old ways. The first step to become a strategic rebel is to master the rules you want to break. When I was coming up in my career, I saw rebels who were all talk and no action. They were dismissed. I learned that my ideas for change were only listened to after I had demonstrated competence and delivered results. Don't dismiss the people who came before you. They have fought their own battles and have valuable lessons to offer. You are not fighting against them, you are using their experience to change the system itself. Achieving excellence at work is a form of currency. It buys you trust, respect, and influence. Your goal in this phase is to become indispensable, not by working 80 hours, but by becoming the go-to person who solves problems no one else can. Number 1, master the fundamentals. Get out of passive resistance mode. You need to engage and become indispensable part of the business so you can influence change. Number 2, speak the language. Learn the business metrics and terminology of the company and industry. Success requires value delivery. Become a domain expert. Number 3, find a mentor. Find someone who can show you the ropes, someone with more experience, who is excellent at their job, and learn from them. Once you have earned your stripes and become indispensable, you are ready for the next phase of your journey. Discovering your superpower. How do you exercise this every workday? Ask yourself, what's a value that I'm passionate about, but that also has a clear business benefit? Examples. As part of Gen Z, you might be passionate about work-life balance. You might value a sense of purpose, understanding the mission of the team. Or you are a tech native and can help others with the adoption of technology. Find that superpower and put it to work for the business. It is not about being different for the sake of being different, but it's about showing that you can do things better for the business. When I started developing software, the source code we wrote was considered a trade secret. Against the judgment of any reasonable software engineer at the time, I started using company time to contribute code to the open source Linux operating system. an unthinkable act of rebellion. My action brought real business benefits to the company over time, so I was able to continue doing it. Now, I was no longer just an employee. I was an invaluable connection with the emerging open source community. I had earned the right to be heard. The final stage of your journey is to use that influence to lead and reform the system itself. The final battle, leading the revolution. This is where your journey comes full circle. Sharing source code outside the company led me to become a pioneer in the open source movement, and that movement transformed software development. It wasn't easy or quick, but it's proof that a strategic rebel can drive meaningful systemic change over time. Leadership is not just about a title, it is about influence. A leader isn't just someone with a team, it's someone who can change the culture around them without ever having to be in charge. So, how do you create a ripple effect of change? Example 1. In your current role, propose a small scale pilot project that aligns with your superpower. For example, a 4-day workweek trial for a single team, the adoption of a new collaboration tool. This is a low-risk way to demonstrate the value of your ideas to the organization. Example number 2, the open question technique. Lead with questions instead of demands. Instead of saying, we need more flexibility, ask, how can we increase team morale and productivity? Maybe we could explore flexible work options to achieve that. Conclusion. So that's the journey from disengaged rebel to master of the system to indispensable asset and finally a leader of change. This is how you change the world while building your leadership. It's not easy or quick, but it is what heroes do. Engaging with your professional career isn't just about a job. It's about building a future you want to work in. It is your time to become the strategic rebel, to win at work and then rewrite the rules. Consider careerzcast a support resource. I recommend watching next the video about Ikigai, a Japanese concept of seeking purpose through work by doing what you love, what you do better than anyone else, and something that makes a good living. And see you in the next episode of careerzcast.